Hi, I've got a couple of questions for you. Number one, let me ask you this. Do bad things always seem to happen to you? Is that the feeling that you get these days? Do you always seem to fall short on success? And, is it always for you the other person who gets the prize or the promotion or the girl or the guy or the special recognition and not you? Do others seemingly pass you by and leave you behind? Maybe you're under the impression that, oh, if I just stick around and this too shall pass, everything will be fine. But is that really the case? Because in my opinion or in my experience, one of the biggest disillusionments is that by doing nothing or just standing by, you may think like you're conserving your energy or you're saving yourself, but it's actually, even by just doing nothing or just living in the status quo, it takes a good amount of energy. And some of that energy you're using is to lie to yourself, to be quite honestly, or creatively make excuses for yourself as to why you cannot do the things that you really wish you could do. You have to create a story, some kind of story to satisfy you, and all the frustrations and panic that are inside you, that are filling your mind. You have to kind of appease them, otherwise you'd probably go nuts. And even more draining is the stories that you need to create to explain yourself to, say, bosses, coworkers, and especially if it's your spouse who's complaining and telling you, why haven't you done what you said you were supposed to do? I'm just as guilty of that as anybody, so I definitely know what that feels like. But if you've given up on yourself for too long, and you've now hand the ball over to someone else to let somebody else take over and give them the credit, I think you're at a point where you really could use some help. I came to that point myself, and I found something that really, really started to turn my perspective around, because I started to see myself. I realized that I was the problem, and my attitude and the way I looked at things. But at the same time, if you're potentially the problem, you're, quite frankly, also potentially the solution. So you have to push through all of that sometimes, and you've got to repurpose yourself, refocus on what it is you were meant to do in this life. So this thing that I do is called tapping, and it's just one of the things that I do to try and rebuild myself and recreate the story in my head of who I am. Because up to now, the story that I had in my head of myself was a failure, and every time I thought of that, I consistently turned it into reality by actually failing. It's that saying that they say, I'm not sure who exactly said it, but they say you are the story that you tell yourselves. In other words, you become the story that you tell yourself in your head. And as I believe it was Robin Sharma who said that reality occurs twice, once in the head and then once out in reality. And it's not exactly the exact quote, but he said something like that. And you do create the world that you live in first in your mind, and then it manifests itself in your reality. And that's not talking about law of attraction and manifesting things out of thin air or something. It's the way that you think about yourself and what you're capable of determines a lot about the limits that you create and what you can and cannot do. So the thing that we first need to work on is removing some of those limits. And I know that some of those limits are based on our past experience. And that, quite frankly, no longer is true, because the old model of you is the old model. And now it's time to upgrade yourself to the current 2019 model of yourself. So we haven't upgraded ourselves, and we haven't done the things or realized that we have different skill sets now, physically, mentally, professionally, things that we can do that we couldn't do in the past. And those things that we couldn't do in the past were based on things, limitations that we may have had, but no longer do have. So we have to reassess ourselves and see who we are now as opposed to who we were. So the thing that I do about tapping is, what's great about tapping is, well, number one, it's very inexpensive. Once you learn it, you can do it over and over and over again, and you can do it just about anywhere. You can do it in your car. You can go to the bathroom and do it. You can do it when you wake up before you. You know, it's like a supplement to meditation. I think I do meditation as well. I know it has its great points. Tapping, otherwise known as EFT, which stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, helps to free up some of the blockages of negative emotions that you have associated with yourself over the years. And I have this course that I am offering to everybody out there right now. Right now I'm offering it at a very discounted price because I'm working on it still. I'm brushing it up. I am adding a few things to it, but I'm offering it to you right now at a price of $9, which is very inexpensive, because I'd love you to try it out right now. And later on, after September 11th, so starting September 12th, we are going to bump up the price to $30, which is more than 3 times the amount. It's going to have a little more in it. The videos are going to be a bit more brushed up. I'm not the greatest speaker, as you can tell, but I'm trying to convey to you something very important that may change your life. So until September 11th, we're offering it for $9, and that $9 is actually a cost that I am not really a cost, but it's going to benefit other charities. I'm taking the profits and splitting them in half, and there's a couple of charities here in where I live in Japan that I find very worthy of making a contribution to, and I'm hoping that you can help me out here by helping me to help support these charities. One of them is actually a charity. It's probably the oldest food bank in Japan that helps not just homeless people, but people that are need a little bit of assistance food-wise. They do provide food for women's shelters as well, and you could literally be with your purchase of this course, you could literally be helping some family have dinner tonight, quite literally. The other charity that I am in great support of is an animal rescue shelter that has been around for a number of years, and as you know, Japan has a lot of natural disasters, earthquakes, tsunamis. People do die, and sometimes their pets live on, but they need shelters. They need new owners, and in the interim, while they find the new owners, they need a place to live, food, nice shower, and friendly people to give them a pet and a hug, and they're just animals. Pets are just loving creatures that deserve our well, I don't know if we deserve them, but they deserve our kindness and our everything that we can do for them. So these are 2 great charities that I think that I'd like to help out at this time. So by purchasing this course, you help them. You help yourself, of course, with this new tapping procedure that I'm going to help you to show to you, and then it also helps free up a little bit of time for myself so that I can go out to the community and volunteer my services. So I hope that you will consider tapping. I know I haven't explained very much about it. I'll explain it once you purchase the course, but it's like acupuncture without the needles. You're really just using your fingers to tap on certain energy spots called meridians around your face and your neck, and maybe as low as under the arm, but it really helps to remove some of the blockages, some of the emotions that you may not even realize have been holding you back over the years. So it's like the baby elephant. I don't know if you've heard the story of the baby elephant that has a rope tied to its leg, and at that, when it's a baby, of course, that rope is strong enough to hold it and keep it from running away. But eventually the baby elephant becomes a giant, strong, powerful elephant, and they still have the rope tied around its leg because the baby elephant inside still exists in that elephant, and it doesn't believe that it can ever run away. Those old stories that it's been telling in its head still exist, and when that baby elephant is no longer that baby elephant, it'll realize that it can rip that little pieces of not even a rope. It's probably a little string or thread right now, and break free if it ever wanted to. So I think as a metaphor, we are in some cases we still have the baby elephant inside of us, and once we break free from that, we can do and be much more than what we think we are. The conversations that we have in our head about the reality of who we are. So once we get closer to the person that we want to be, and then the person that we tell ourselves we are, we become so much more powerful, more in sync in body, mind, and spirit. And once you have all those things going for you, the power is tremendous. And I think that's just where we want to strive. I want you to strive, and I hope that I can help you achieve that. So I know these videos are not polished yet, but bear with me. There is a very, very important lesson in them, and if you follow through and help and help yourself especially, I think you'll find them very, very valuable to you. Something that you will keep with you forever. And even if you forget one day and go back to the way you were, you can always come back and remember tapping, and it's a solution to help you heal some of the wounds that have been bothering you or been keeping you from being who you are for many, many years. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. I do hope that you help yourself and participate in this tapping program. It's only a 6-day course, and it's only $9. And again, that half of it is going to charity. The other half is going to help me to provide more of my time to my community so that I can help others as well. Please, to have this tool under your belt, one of many tools, is something that you should have. It's like I said, it's cheap, it's dirt cheap, and it's something that you can do anywhere to help you in a situation that could be potentially traumatic for you, and can help you ease some of that pain. Not even ease some of the pain, help you to ease out of that pain. All right. I talk too much, so I'm going to leave it at that. And there is a button below, add to cart. Click on that, and hopefully we will see you after you have taken action. All right. I wish you well, and I wish you the best. And if you aren't at your best, I wish you as much help as you can get. I hope that I can help you, and I'll see you later. All right. Thank you.